welcome to Super Belle Sews. My name's Sarah, thanks for joining me today. This is my video for Sew Fruity, which is an amazing sewing challenge run by the gorgeous Blossom Sandwich, who you will know from probably her Instagram and also from running Stash Hub and also from running Sew Fruity. And today is my day on the Vlogator. So I wanted to share with you my fruity garment that I've been sewing up this week. And I also have a look through my stash for some different fruity fabrics, which it turns out I have quite a few. So I thought I could show you some past fruity makes, and I could also show you some of the fabrics I've got, and we can maybe have a chat about what you might be making up with fabrics like that. So the project that I decided to make was the new Fabric Godmother pattern, the Fleur dress. Now I've adapted it a bit, and there are a few things that I'm going to adapt next time now that I have had a go at the pattern. But first up, let me talk about the fabric. So this all started with this shirting fabric, which, as you can see, it has little watermelon slices on it. And this ties in really nicely actually with a charity fundraiser thing that Blossom Sandwich is running at the moment, which is to raise money for a Palestine children's charity. So do go and take a look and donate if you are able to. But this ties in nicely. So watermelon fabric. So it's like a cotton shirting, and the watermelon slices are embroidered into it. Now, my initial plan was to do a vote over on Instagram and make whatever was the most popular choice. Now, what came out on top there was the Helen's Closet Gilbert shirt, which I've made a few times. Love the pattern. It's just a great, easy to wear summer pattern. And I think this fabric would have looked amazing in that. But I got the results in, and then Fabric Godmother released a sneak peek of the Fleur dress, which is their brand new pattern. And I just thought, maybe I want to make that instead. But they had only released like little clips of what it looked like. So I was thinking, okay, I'm going to wait a couple of days, see when they release the full look. If I like the full look, I'm going to make that instead, because also I think it's probably more interesting to make a pattern that's quite new and that I haven't made before, so that I can give you sort of fresh feedback rather than going, you know, this pattern that I've always raved about, still great. Yeah, so I saw the picture. It's very much like a sort of Ganni inspired blouse with the little bow tie front. You can make a blouse or a dress. Now, my plan, although I love the look of the blouse, I don't really wear blouses very often. So I wanted to make the dress. And I went full steam ahead, ordered the pattern, blah, 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 came to cut it out. I did not have enough fabric for the skirt. I could have made a skirt, but it would have probably been shorter than I'd be comfortable wearing. And I really didn't want to make something that I then am not going to wear, because I like the fabric and I like the pattern. So fortunately for me, also in my stash, I had fabric from the same range. So it's the same cotton shirting with the blue and white stripe, but it has embroidered pineapples on it. So that's what these little flecks of yellow are. They're little embroidered pineapple bits. I'll see if I can, I don't know if I can show you on one of these ties. You see there, like a little pineapple. Very cute. I've got to tie that back up again now. Anyway, so it turned out that I had enough to make a dress out of both of those. So I think I had about 4 meters overall with both fabrics. Now, because of this, I had to change the design of the skirt. I didn't want to just have the pineapple fabric on the bottom. So instead, I cut the top tier of the skirt. As you can just see, a bit of it here is in the pineapple fabric. And then I added a ruffled tier, which is like almost 5 meters long, in the remainder of the watermelon fabric. So let me show you a picture of the finished dress here. I really enjoyed sewing it. Fabric Godmother have pretty clear instructions, I would say. There are pictures to help you along the way, which I all found very clear to follow. I like, because this is only the second pattern they've released, but I feel like they take their time. They look at like sort of where there's a gap. I think the peony dress was very inspired by the Vampire's Wife dresses. This is obviously very much inspired by Ganni. And I like that, because a lot of these brands actually also don't do extended sizing. So like Vampire's Wife does not have a good size range. Ganni does not have a good size range. So it means that I can make something inspired by that, which I would be unable to buy in the shop. So I really appreciate the amount of time and effort that goes into that. Now, a couple of things they've changed. The main thing is they've added this secret little placket. I can't even see it, it's so secret here. There's a little placket underneath the bows so that you don't have... So in the actual Ganni blouses, they're just open, so you have the bows and you can see skin in between. And obviously, A, that's not everyone's cup of tea, but like, if you've got a whacking big bra on, do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you don't want to be flashing that to everybody. So I really appreciate that addition. The other change from the peony dress is that they've offered it in 2 cup sizes. So I made it in the D cup range. Now, a couple of things that I will change next time to do with sizing. I decided to go with, so with the peony, I just did a full bust adjustment and the fit was pretty good. For this, I thought because they've done the D cup option, I'll just pick according to the size chart, I'll pick from what they recommend, and I'll see sort of how that fits. Now, I did think when I looked at the pictures on the models, this time they also have like a curvier model, which they didn't have for peony dress. And I thought that the waistline looked like it was sitting a little bit higher on her. So normally, if you've got like big boobs, it's not just the width where you need extra space, but also like there's a longer length to get down to your waist because the fabric has to go like out and then down again. So I had an inkling that I might need to add a little bit of length, but I was like, I'm just going to make it as they've intended because they might have taken care of that in the full bust adjustment. The other thing that I didn't think of when I was making it, but as soon as I looked at it, I was like, the bows you basically have to treat like buttons. So I often find in shirt patterns or shirt dress patterns that the way the buttons line up doesn't work well for my bust. So you need to have a button that meets at like the fullest part of your bust. And so often I find that they'll have, so like here, for example, you've got a bow here and a bow here. The widest part of my bust is here. So what I actually need to do is have 4 bows, have 1, 2, push this one a little bit higher, 3, and then have the 4th one at the top, which is what I also would have to do with buttons for most dresses. Again, I've not made a dress like this before, so I just sort of want to see like how it turned out. But what I'm going to do for this, because it just gapes at this bit when I wear it. I'll see if I can I've got a picture slightly to the side and you can see it just pulls, the front pulls forward and then the placket pulls back. So I think what I might actually do is sew this bit down, just maybe up until this bow. And then I'll leave this open because I need to untie it to get my head. I've got a big old head with a lot of hair on it. So yeah, so I might just sew it up until there and hope that doesn't mess with the look too much. So there's a stitch line here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just going to sew over that. And hopefully that will do the job because I don't want to be flashing my boobs to everybody all the time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but overall, I really love it. Now, the skirt is, I think, quite a bit fuller than the skirt on the original pattern. Again, I just drafted my own because I was doing 2 tiers. So, yeah, so I just did that. But I'm really pleased with how the skirt looks. Love the sleeves. They're like a puff sleeve, but they've got a proper cuff, not an elasticated cuff. I tend to find these cuffs are a bit more comfortable. So, yeah, overall, I would really recommend. The only thing is making a couple of those fit adjustments. So adding a little bit of length to the bodice and changing the positioning of the bows. But again, I prefer to have made it and sort of see, because obviously all of our bodies are a bit different. So it might be that for you, you need slightly different adjustments to me. But that's just my experience as a busty lady. Fabric, really easy to work with. It creases quite easily. It's quite like a crisp fabric. There are a couple of places where if I hadn't cut carefully and I'd find, you know, a place where I had to sort of fold over and press and I was going over an embroidered bit, it didn't press very well at those points, but it did press enough for me to manage it. And I think the final dress is gorgeous. I'm really excited to wear it. Once I've sewn up that placket, so I'm not flashing the world, I just need the weather to get a bit hotter. And then I feel like this will be a lovely sort of swanning around, going for a picnic dress. I don't know, I haven't been for a picnic in like probably 5 years, but this year could be the year, guys. So yeah, that's my contribution for So Fruity. If I get anything finished by the end of the month, maybe I'll make something else. I don't know, you can enter multiple times. There are amazing prizes. I think you have to do individual grid posts. So each individual grid post for a new garment is a new entry. So I'd love to know if you're entering and what you've been making. Now, I was trying to think about what fruity makes I've made already in the past. So one of them was quite recent, which was my So Yellow for Endo make, which was the Myosotis dress in this lemony cotton lawn, which again, super summery. It seems like the minute I started talking about summery dresses, it started raining and didn't stop. So sorry about that, guys. That was my bad. So you could make something like this. Lemons, I think, are always a really popular print. A cotton lawn works really nicely in a shirt dress, and there are so many great shirt dresses out there. You could also use, I think, a cotton lawn for something like this. They want things that hold its shape a little bit so that the bows aren't too, like, sad. But I think cotton lawns could be quite crisp, can't they? So I reckon, and you could probably just interface the bows if you wanted them to stick up a bit more. My most popular make from last year was a fruity make, and that was my Mabel dress with the strawberries on it. So I'll pop a picture of that here as well. That's a Viscose linen. Fabric Godmother, I think, have since released that in a range of background colours. I like this one the best. The sort of pink and the blue shades. I'm about to say are not shades I really wear, but this is literally pretty much the same blue shade. But yeah, it's got a stripe. I don't know. I just prefer it. But they've got one with, yeah, like a pink background and a light blue background. That one's really new. And that's really good quality, gorgeous fabric to sew with. Again, very summery. So when I had a look through my stash, I have 3 other fruity fabrics in there, and they're covering different fruits. So I feel like we've got a fruit salad going on. And also they're all different fruits to these 2 fruits. So we've got pineapple, we've got melon, we have oranges. Now, I bought this last year from Jenny Stitches. It's a lovely viscose. I've not gone off it, but I sort of bought it too late in the summer to make anything. And now I'm lacking a bit of inspiration. But I think any of you who have followed my channel will probably be bored with me talking about our honeymoon all the time. But we're going on our honeymoon in October, and we're going to Italy for 2.5 weeks. And there's part of me that's like, I don't know if a dress, but I sort of like the idea of making some really big floaty trousers in this. And you could just wear it with like a plain top, like a white shirt or something. But yeah, let me know what you might make with that. Obviously, it's very vivid and it's quite an intense print. So, but it's nice and drapey. So yeah, lots of nice things you can make with that. I also have this. This I've had in my stash for ages. Like, I think, and it's very creased. Sorry, I just put it off the... Try and press that down. Just took it off the shelf now. This I purchased around when I started sewing, so 3 years ago. It's bananas. So this is I think it's actually a quilting cotton, but I bought it with a view of making shorts that never were made. It's quite heavy. It will hold its structure. It's got these big bananas on a nice dark base. I actually do think that would make good shorts still. Like, it's quite sturdy. Am I deluded? Would that make terrible shorts? Don't know. But yeah, I know there are some people who are very anti using quilting cotton for things that aren't quilting, but I just think if it looks all right, why not? Why not? And then my last fabric you'll have seen before, because this was one of my So Yellow for Endo fabric options. And that's this gorgeous viscose. Now, this is a Lady McElroy print. And it's sort of got Amalfi, Sicily vibes. So the fruity part is obviously these lemons. There are obviously also, I'm holding this upside down, let me turn it the other way. There's this nice sort of terrace scene. There are tiles. Oh, very pretty. Now, this is so summery. I just don't know if I could wear it in this country. So I think, I can't remember what I said I was going to make with it before. I think someone recommended making like a duster type thing. And I actually think for a holiday or like a caftan, that would be really nice. I need to work out if I have enough of it. I think I actually purchased this at Boys in York. So me and Nathan went for a long weekend up there a couple of summers ago. And I met up with lovely Judy from Running So-and-So. And she introduced me to Boys, which I was completely oblivious to. And this fabric I'd been admiring somewhere else, but not purchased. And they had it there. So I purchased it there. I can't remember how much. But yeah, I'm thinking it's got to be like some sort of swishy, I don't know, caftan duster vibe. But yeah, I just wanted to share those with you. There are so many fun fruity prints. I've actually gone with one of the most understated ones, haven't I? But you can really make something beautiful, and I think no matter what your aesthetic is, you can find something that would work if you decide to enter. Amazing prizes as always. You could also make, if you don't fancy making clothes, like with the quilting cotton, you could make a bag out of that. You could make, there are lots of little accessories you could make. So, and I don't think there are limits on what you can enter. So yeah, just be imaginative. I didn't actually realise how much I love a fruity print, so I obviously need to get on sewing some more of these up. But I'm pleased to have this sewn up. I couldn't tell you where I bought the fabric because it's been in my stash for ages, and I tried searching for certain things in my email to work it out. Couldn't find anything useful. So a couple of people messaged me to say on Instagram that they had this fabric. I'll be interested to know if it exists with any different fruits. So we've got pineapple, we've got watermelon. Let me know if you've got a version or have ever had a version that has different fruit on it. Would love to know what else is out there, what else I could have added to my fruit salad dress. But yeah, please take some time if you would like to watch some of the other Vlogator videos for So Fruity. There's been a really good lineup of people vlogging about it. I'm sure you've seen some of them already. And I'd love to know if you're entering, what you're planning on making, what's your favourite fruity fabric in your stash. Yeah, I want to know it all. Let me know. And thanks so much for tuning in. Any details for So Fruity, check out Blossom Sandwich Instagram channel. I'll put the handle below, and I think there are also lots of YouTube videos with all the details, so just enjoy seeing what everyone's doing. All right, you take care. See you soon.